That was crazy.
6:58 she sat down at this table.
No. I'm
How-
pretty sure it was exactly 7.
Well, okay. I was trying to help you out a little bit, make you look a little bit better. How is everybody doing? Very excited to be with you here tonight. Before we even get started, want to talk to, is Nightbot in there? Hopefully not. Thank you to Joss, gifted 5 memberships. I was following along. Thank you, Zen Ginger, audio, video, good. I was following along with the chat and saw that that Jazz did that. Is it Jazz or Jazz? I mean, it's probably initial. Who cares? You know I'm talking to you. Said that somebody gifted her a membership and decided to pay it forward. So that's very cool.
Nice.
Very cool of you to do that. Appreciate it very much. We don't have a huge agenda. I would think Jas like Jasper. Yeah, that's what I was saying, but I think when I said it, it sounded kind of like jazz, and we all know that is a Z. Yeah, say it like jazz.
Nice.
There we go, jazz. So.
And it's a little kitty emoji.
Yeah, you know you like that.
Yeah.
We don't have a huge agenda for the night. The truth is I've been overwhelmed with having a major project go on and planning for that and doing all. It has nothing to do with fish keeping, unfortunately. The only major project we have going on is yours, which you haven't done anything with, but that one's coming. Yep. So it's just been completely overwhelming, and the project that I'm working on is a project in the house, and I don't want to bore all of you with that. Now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
What?
The mess.
Well, listen, this broad, listen. I told her going into it, I said, we can use the kitchen throughout the entire project, but you have to know it's not going to be nice. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a challenge. And it already is 1 weekend in. So go ahead. People really want to hear what you're saying.
There's a hole in the middle of my kitchen floor.
If you are interested in the renovation of my kitchen, I will be uploading videos to the Money Pit channel for that. I'm doing the videos on that channel in my favorite style, which is just film everything and then do a voiceover over top of me working. And already 1 weekend in, there's been a major surprise, a couple of twists and turns, and yeah, even the first episode will be eventful and fun. Yeah. I'm calling it the first episode. I have uploaded, I think, 3 videos to that channel, but I'm not even going to count those. We're going to say that I'm starting from scratch here in 2025.
I had to go in and fix the hole in the floor.
She did no such thing. She stuffed a paper towel in it.
It was not a paper towel. It was a sweatshirt. And then I stuck a board over top of it, and then I put my toolbox over top of that to hold it down. And then all the little holes that were in it because of the rather large screws that were holding the island down, I twisted up
paper towels
and stuck them in all the holes. Hey, I saved you from a spider.
It's true.
And you just have no idea what could have come through that hole. So unless it was a cat, it didn't belong in the house.
Our kitchen was remodeled in the 1990s and has not been touched since. When they remodeled, they put a island in, and they also replaced the flooring, and they put the flooring right up to the island. So when I removed the island, I discovered there's a lot of area that does not have hardwood floors. Yeah. So I'm having to patch it, which I know how to do because I'm a woodworker. And so it's been interesting. It's been fun. And the real fun begins this weekend when she's gone and I'm here by myself. That's when I get to take my pants off and really go for it in that kitchen.
That's just weird.
I'm going to be building cabinets this weekend, and I'm excited about that.
I just want that one pole to get moved, because if I trip over it and run into it one more time,
Pole?
I'm going to throw it out in the yard.
Pole?
It's one of those, I think you put the camera
Oh,
on.
Lord, pick it up and move it out of the way. What's wrong with
I'm
you?
going to kick it somewhere, and then we're going to have real problems. I've tripped over it so many times because I can't see it. And it, ugh.
I understand. I told you it was going to be a struggle, though. But listen, I am not a professional, and I did not prepare the email. I've gotten a couple of emails over the last few days, and you know what? I don't need to actually read the emails. I can just tell you what it is, and that's where our substance for today comes from.
Subject?
She don't even know what we're talking about because
I have no
it's
idea. I just showed up.
Kind of last minute things. But I first want to tell you about some exciting news that I got today. That
Can I have you answer a question real fast first?
of course.
What would be the best wood and size to build a 75-gallon stand out of?
That's a genius question, because we are a fish channel after all. So here's the thing. I'm a firm believer in, if you're going to DIY a stand, you should build it out of 2x4s. I have a video on my channel, just like every other YouTuber that does fish videos has videos on their channel about how to build stands. But I would build it that way. It's not very attractive. That's not something you would want in your living room. But I would build it that way so that it is super strong and you don't have to worry about the thing falling off or falling on your floor. And then I would take trim and I would trim it out to make it look really nice. That's what I'm going to have to do with this thing. I've been saying for 5 years I'm going to do that because this one has a metal stand and it's not very attractive. But it's, you know, a 743,000 gallon or it's 1,000 pound aquarium. So it needs that big metal stand. But there's a lot of ways to build an aquarium stand, but I like that safety and security of good, solid, dimensional lumber, 2x4s, building it the right way. It's cheap. You can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy for like $30 the 2x4s to build the stand, and then just wrap it with trim. And then you don't have to worry about the structural integrity of the thing. And you can just fancy it up with trim and make it look really nice. And I'm not saying put crown molding and chair rail. I'm not saying that. I'm saying strips of wood that you can build a face frame out of, and then, you know, put some doors and stuff like that on it. It's real easy.
And make sure you put the legs under the wood and not over the side. I've seen.
We
and
saw one recently.
Don't post it on Facebook if you do it that way. Just, you know,
so
you don't get your feelings hurt.
I want to try to show what it is that you're talking about. I actually show this in the video, the thing that
like,
makes my...
Okay, so...
Yeah, let's have her, the one who's never built a stand,
but
explain
I know
it to you.
common sense what to do. You put the wood, the legs under here, not on the outside. I saw somebody do that, and they attached the two pieces, the top and the bottom like that, by putting the legs on the outside and the screws, they screwed it in that way. So the only thing holding up the tank is screws.
Is the screws.
You put it under.
Yeah. So if you think about a stand, I'm going to do my best to maybe explain it a little better than she did. You did a brilliant job. Nicely done.
I know.
But I'm going to try to do it a little bit better. If you imagine a table...
Mansplaining.
I'm doing no such thing. I'm the woodworker here, okay? Don't you put that evil on me.
I've watched it too, so I've learned.
You're going to build a frame. Your aquarium's going to sit on that. And then you're going to want to put 4 legs on there, right? Well, what some people do is just screw 4 legs to it. And that's no good, because all that's doing is, you're, like she just said so beautifully, woman-splained it. You're relying on your screws to hold that weight, and it's just not going to, even if you use the best screws in the world. I suppose if you use carriage bolts, and that would just look terrible though. But so what you want to do is you have your end piece, you want to sandwich another piece onto it, which will take the weight of the tank and transfer it down to the floor. Then you don't have to worry about it falling. If you want a detailed display of that, watch my video on the channel. I don't know where it is.
I think I was talking about making my own video about making a stand, remember?
I think you did.
Yeah.
That Finsanity put up a link. That might be, yeah, there it is. So if you want to watch a detailed video on my whole theory behind it, just watch that. And I'm not trying to make the claim that it's my design and my genius. I mean, I think everybody builds stands that way, but I go into detail explaining.
Except that one guy on Facebook.
Well, anyway, you know, he was proud of what he did, so stop being mean.
I didn't say anything. It was everybody else.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got a weird email. Let's read it. Hello. I hope you're having a great day. I'm with Famous Birthdays, a popular entertainment platform serving 25 million monthly users.
Losers.
We've added John Hudson to Famous Birthdays, but we're missing his birthday info.
Oh, yeah, you better send it right now.
What? Remember our topic last week, talking about all of the scams? Good grief.
Next it'll be, but without your birthday, or we don't have your social security
Yeah,
number.
we need your bank account number too, just in case.
Don't forget your address.
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this.
Oh, I told them. You can.
Well, I mean, telling Zen is one thing. You know what? I'm just going to do it because I'm not going to show the picture because that might get me in trouble. I'm not going to do that. My people have faith in me. We got an email today from Fluval Aquatics, which is always a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's one of those, when I get an email from them, it's like, oh boy, what's happening now? Announcing a new product and wondering if we'd like to test it out and try it out. And so, okay, I want to tell you something you might not even know. I had a conversation with my guy at Fluval. Not going to say his name because I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Is it
It is him, the one that sent the email. Had a face-to-face conversation with this gentleman, and we were talking about the Fluval beta complete setup beta kit tank thing that they have, which was a beautiful setup. It had it was an all-in-one, so you get the glass box and it has the filtration on the back. It looks very similar to the other Fluval all-in-ones like the Flex and the all of those. It didn't have the curved glass like the Flex, but it was just a really nice tank, but
it was too little.
It was too small. It was 2.6 gallons. And I said to him,
you said what I said. I said, no.
We need for it to be bigger than that, particularly if it's something that we're going to promote to our followers.
I said, it's a beautiful shrimp tank.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a great shrimp tank. Well, we just got the news today that they are bringing out, should be out the end of February or early March, a 6-gallon version of this beta system. I'm so excited about that. Finally, people, the big timers, the big companies are recognizing we need to do the right thing for these little tiny fish that have to go by themselves, which they really don't, but most people keep them by themselves.
Yeah,
I love it. I love that somebody's taking this fish seriously. Now, you could have easily used one of the Fluval 5-gallon systems. I don't remember the names. Y'all can put them in the chat if you know the names. But
the Aquatop one?
No, I'm talking about the Fluval ones too. The Fluval has the one that's like a bullet, and they're amazing.
Yeah.
And they're 5 gallons. You could have used those for a beta. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. But the one that they advertised for betas was only 2.6 gallons.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
So this one now,
I hope the light holder is stronger than Aquatop.
if women are using it, yeah. If women are using it, it needs to be stronger because
Yeah, broke it.
she broke it
Yep,
with a body part,
I did.
bending over and popped it.
Yeah.
Wish I was that light. But anyway,
Now the light sits on top of the tank with a little rock holding it up.
it's true. Oscar tank looks amazing tonight. Well, thank you.
Oh. How
It
is
should,
your,
all the filtration I've got in there now.
how is your sorority beta tank doing? I took all the betas out of my sorority and put them in their own little tanks and made it an all guppy male tank. So, but they're good. They're just not together.
See, Snafu got it right. Awesome to Fluval for doing that. I'm tired of seeing itty bitty tanks with beta fish pictures on the front of the tanks. Yeah, that's my point exactly. And that is so common in our hobby right now. You go everywhere and it's always betas are what's on the little tanks. A 6-gallon tank is still a little tank, but perfectly sized for a beta. You've always preached 5 gallons, so you get a bonus gallon with it.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's actually smart.
That 1 gallon might even be the filtration part of it. So it really is a 5-gallon tank. And
Yeah, that's so true because
it's built-in filtration.
yeah, that's true.
And it's a beautiful tank. Listen, we were selling for a while the Aquatops, and they're nice. They look good. But Fluval's tanks are always next level. They just have that it's almost like an Apple product. Apple products just look better than most. And that's why so many smart people use Apple products. But it's just that high-end look that Fluval has. I love it. I love that so much. So,
And we're not sitting here trying to sell the product to you because we're not even going to be selling it. We're just talking about it because we think it's going to be a really cool tank. But I can't wait because I'm going to scape it and put one of the betas I already have in it.
there you go. Beautiful thing. And we know she can put a scape together. I had fun with that, with the fake Facebook account, and got blocked.
Oh.
I don't think that account exists anymore.
No, it'll still exist. It just ends up, they change their name. They change the words around in the name.
But when it doesn't matter. I don't want to give that guy any more attention, because we know it's a guy. A woman wouldn't do that kind of thing. Yeah.
There's some pretty devious women out there.
Thank you for having fun with them, Maureen, Josh, because, I did see some changes happen very fast after that stream. So I think there were a lot of people that got on them for that. So good on all of y'all.
And the funny thing is, you were sitting here talking about you didn't want people to get scammed, and that's why you brought it up. And you were especially worried about like older people that maybe didn't know any better. And the only negative comment that was made about that stream that you had, brought that up was from an older person. And I was like, okay, lady, he was just trying to help y'all out.
I didn't even see that. What was the comment?
I don't know, something about being so negative and stuff. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, you try.
You kind of have to talk about it in a negative way because there's nothing positive about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just insanity.
But anyway, move along.
I can't find this email. So it's okay, because I don't need to read the actual email anyway. A couple of emails came through that I don't know. It was just one of those things that made me say, that's something good to talk about tonight.
Oh.
It's not something we've never talked about before. But one of the emails, they're two completely separate issues. And one of them is actually the gentleman that made these rugs for us.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so,
I love these rugs.
But I will get to that one second. The first one was from somebody who was a customer of ours, and their filter failed.
Oh.
And if you are here tonight, if you're in the chat, the person that sent me this email, don't worry. I'm not getting ready to go all in on you. It's nothing like that at all. But the email that was sent to me was very frantic. It was like, oh no, my filter stopped working and now all of my fish are going to die, kind of a thing. I'm embellishing a little bit. It wasn't quite that extreme, but you could tell that this person was very anxious about this scenario. And I don't blame them. I mean, it'd be no big deal for us because we've got a bunch of filters that we've never thrown away, and we've got backups, and we've got
Like-
this and that.
Like mine on my one tank, my 125, one of the filters, I'm not going to name the name of it, went out.
It was
and
5 years old, and you abused it.
it was partially my own fault. But anyway, that's besides the point. So it wasn't working, and I look behind me on the shelf, and I'm like, oh, there's a box with a filter in it. I hang on the back. I will use this one. I've never used that one before, that product. So I was like, let me see. I'll throw it together. Didn't use directions because I didn't need to. And it's doing very well.
Did you watch Sunday's video on our channel?
Are you asking me that on live? No.
344,000 people
I
watching.
didn't. I didn't watch it.
If you had, you would have heard me tell that story on that video.
Oh,
Isn't that a shame?
sorry.
Best business partner ever. But no, in all seriousness, we have that. We have a lot of options. We don't throw things away. We are kind of fish hoarders. Maybe not to the Lucas Bretz level, but we, it's going to be, something's going to have to be completely broken and unusable. Like a hang on the back filter would have to be cracked for me to throw it away. I mean, I keep everything.
Or a heater, that's not working anymore. Or something. I just
I can't fix
stand,
that.
I can't stand stuff just laying around. If it doesn't work, just throw it away. We've had lights like that. It drives me insane because they'll be up in the corner. There's one. I don't know. It might work. I have to plug it in to find out.
Anyway,
I'm just saying.
it's very easy for us to be like, it's no big deal. Your filter goes out, and the failure of this filter was the pump. The pump went out. So if the pump and a hang on the back filter dies, it's over. There's no, you have to replace that pump. And almost all hang on back filters, you can replace the pump. Now, but there was some urgency to this email that made me say, you know what, maybe it's time to have this talk on the live stream, because there sounded like there was a bit of panic involved, which is why I titled this stream, Don't Panic, It's Going to Be Okay. And the main reason why I say it with this one is this gentleman said, I have a circulation pump in there, and so the water's still moving, but I'm afraid my fish are all going to die. There's not going to be enough oxygen. It's going to crash and blah, blah, blah. And my response to that kind of a thing is slow down. Don't panic. Because if the water's moving, sure, it's not ideal. And I don't even know if he said, I have 72 fish in there, or I have one dovie in there. I don't know what's in the tank. I think it was a 75 gallon. But unless it is a tank that you're raising 300 convict cichlid fry in, and you really have a huge load in there, and it will crash if you have no water movement in there. If you just have your average tank, 7 or 8 or 12 fish in there, and you still have the water moving, it's not panic time. We want to get this replaced as quick as possible. We want to get this problem solved as quick as possible. But one of the first mistakes you can make is panicking. He was saying in the email, should I run to my local fish store and buy another filter and have it to run until we can get this other one fixed and all that? And it's just like, hold on a second. It's going to be fine. Now, if he didn't have that circulation pump, I would have been more concerned.
Yeah.
But because of the circulation pump, you still have water movement in there. Water not moving, if you have a tank set up with a bunch of fish in it and a bunch of big fish, and you have a big load, it's an Oscar tank or an African cichlid tank or a tank with 300 guppies in it, and you have no water movement, that is the kiss of death. That can be a
Guppies
huge
would
problem.
Be fine.
For a bit.
As long as there's like plants in there.
The Lucas Bretz style of tanks, the father fish style of tanks, is exactly what I just described. There's no water movement in those tanks at all. However, their tanks are stocked appropriately, so they can deal with that. It's not as big of a deal. There isn't the load on those tanks that this one would have. This one, if the water stopped moving in this, if it was going to be over 24 hours, I would probably be, it would never happen here. We've got way too many things that can move water around here. I've got, it doesn't matter. I got more of those circulation pumps that Jay sent me that I could easily get the water moving in here. Wouldn't be a big deal. But if I didn't have that, then I would be panicking, just like my friend that emailed me that was. So the number one key here
Don't
is
feed your fish for a while either.
Oh yeah, you would need to stop feeding them while this is happening. But first of all, don't panic and learn from this. The thing that you should learn is to have some type of a backup. It doesn't have to be a canister filter, a Whale 500 or a FX6 sitting there on standby just in case. That's unrealistic for most people, including us. I get it. But having a circulation pump, having a sponge filter that you can stick in there and use that while you're waiting to get your other one up and running, it could be a matter of life or death for your fish. So that's the biggest thing. And my recommendation would be exactly what I just said. Get you a sponge filter. If you have 10 or 12 tanks, get a sponge filter that's appropriate for the biggest tank that you have. Unless it's a 360, then sponge filters just ain't going to cut it. But if you've got a 55 and a couple of 20s and some 10s and a bunch of 5s, get one that would filter that 55. That way you can use it on any of them, even a 5-gallon. It would be absurd because half your tank would be full of sponge filter, but at least you have one filter that you can use on all of the tanks. Sponge filters are cheap. The same amount of money you would spend for a freaking coffee at Starbucks. Get you a sponge filter, have it there waiting just in case. I am somebody that has always preached, be prepared. And that's easy for us. We've been doing this a long time. We have a lot of tanks. We're very fortunate that we have companies send us stuff and all of this, and that's great. But that's put us in a position to be prepared. But I'd like to see everybody be prepared. Just don't buy the stuff off Amazon to get yourself prepared.
And oh my gosh, the other night it was like really cold out still. Gosh, It was so cold. It's been cold forever, but it's starting to warm up. I came out here to feed the fish, and I was like, oh crap, the heater's not working. So I messaged John. I'm like, did you turn the heater down when you came out here to do what? Oh, the live, was it the live stream?
No, I was making videos.
Making
that
videos,
day.
yeah. So he comes out, and then he's going outside and fooling around with the thing for the, what are they called?
Mini split.
The mini split.
The Mr. Cool system.
Yeah, so he's going out there, he's messing with it and everything. And long story short, when it first started acting up, it said DE, I think? DF?
DF.
Yeah, it was DF. And I remembered that. So he's out there messing with it, and I'm Googling mini split, says DF. And it meant that it would cut off to do some kind of
defrost.
Yeah, defrost, yeah. So anyways, it ended up coming back on and everything was okay, but I kept thinking, well, I've got these tanks in here that don't have heaters in them. What are we going to do? I don't know if I have enough little heaters for all of my nano tanks and stuff. We got to do something. We got to go get the heater out of the barn or something to bring in here for the fish. And yeah, I panicked a little, but it ended up being okay.
But see, there's nothing worse than that panicky feeling. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do, which is why I preach all the time, know what you're going to do. And also, when I say know what you're going to do, I don't mean, well, if that happens, I'm going to run to the store, buy this thing, and come back and put it in. Because if this happens, that was late at night
Yeah.
that happened. If your thing happens and it's late, what are you going to do? And that, I mean, when it comes to a heat system for an entire building,
Yeah.
that I'm not prepared for. I mean, We could
have a
hook up the
lot.
generators, which we wouldn't need to, but we got a bunch of space heaters
have
that
a
we could have
bunch of
grabbed.
space heaters.
We could have fixed it, but we were using the heaters other places because it was
It was
butt
so
freezing last week.
Cold.
For like 2 weeks. It's unacceptable. I sent an email to Mother Nature and I complained,
good,
and it's
'cause
getting warmer now,
that
so
was
apparently
insane.
it got through. I could not.
We had heaters everywhere and everywhere. All the cats needed heaters in their areas that they're in, and the dog needed heaters. Everybody needed heaters. Everybody needed heaters. And oh yeah, the electric bill.
Oh, we don't need to talk about that. Friends of ours like Joe Provenzano up in Buffalo. I'm going to be honest, Joe. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how people live there or anywhere that has that cold from like December all the way to March. Like, I don't know how you survive. We would not survive in weather like that.
No, I couldn't do things. My mind was not processing things in life very well. I would just stand in the kitchen thinking, what am I going to do? This is cold. I turned the stove on and I opened the oven up. I was like, I can't handle this right now. It was debilitating.
Emily said, I live on the southern coast of South Carolina and thought we were going to freeze to death last week. Us too. I mean, we're an hour from the coast, but we're in North Carolina, way north of you. And we were ready to just call it quits. I mean, it was like, this is ridiculous.
Life was not
The
good.
first time ever, the pond froze over, not completely because of the waterfall. There was the whole area that didn't freeze, but I mean, I could have gone ice skating on the pond. It was horrible, and
Terrible.
I was miserable the entire time. I was cold from the time I got out of bed until I got back in bed that night, because the only time I was warm was in bed.
Yeah, because
And-
the bedroom was warm. I was like, I'd get up in the morning and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get up today.
I get in bed and she heats it up. Anyway, my feet were cold the entire time. I absolutely hated it. Cold is a nightmare for aquarium keepers, and if it's butt freezing outside and the heat goes out, I understand anybody that panics. But one of the best things to prevent somebody from panicking is knowing exactly what you're going to do. And when it comes to aquariums, we can talk about heating later on, but when it comes to your aquariums, know what you're going to do. And in that particular situation, we got it handled. A new pump is being sent to him like that. It's all good.
That's good.
But you know, if that's your like, if you're hopeless until that shows up, which this person is not, like I said, they have a circulation pump in there and stuff like that. If you're set up like that, then it shouldn't be a big deal. I understand the panic, but it's not quite panic time yet. But a good point could be that this person was prepared because they have that circulation pump. I would dare to say the circulation pump is not there in case the filter goes out. I think it's there for the same reasons I have a circulation pump in here. We want the water moving, but it's there, and that's good for if something bad happens. Be prepared. Know what you're going to do. And make sure whatever it is that you're going to do is not run to the store and get something, because it happens 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, you're screwed. Joe Provenzano, speak of the devil, said, great season for both clubs. Maybe next year.
Oh, yeah.
Joe is a Buffalo fan, and what's not to be a fan of that team right now? They're amazing.
I was rooting for them too, Joe.
Yeah, I was too. I'm not a Chiefs hater, but, you know, it would have been nice to see somebody else win for once.
Well,
But-
go Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team,
Well, I'm certainly going to be rooting for them in the Super Bowl.
not the Eagles. Blech.
Not because I want to see a three-peat, but because I don't like Philadelphia Eagle fans. I said it to your face. I don't dislike people from Philadelphia. We went to Philly Stadium, and it was a very pleasant evening.
Yeah,
It was a
they're
lot of
very
fun.
Nice people there.
But them Eagles fans, y'all can
Ooh,
go do a water change.
definitely a water change with a lot of poopy water.
I mean, I wanted to say you can go do something else, but
No.
I just had to keep it
they're
appropriate.
not all bad.
After what I said last week, I don't want to lose
Yeah,
the rest of our
let's
audience.
be nice.
But yeah, thank you for the super chat, Joe. I was real sad for both teams, but still love my Josh Allen bobblehead. Would love it more if he had the mullet like he has now. That would be amazing. But and then Joe gifted 5 memberships. Look at you, Joe. You're just doing
you,
it all
Joe.
tonight.
That's so sweet.
Go Birds. See, how dare you? How dare you, Craig Green? Listen, I understand why people would be a fan of that team. That's a great team. Great team. I've had bad experiences with Philadelphia fans at Redskins Stadium when it was called that. And it was not a pleasant thing. And so I have a grudge against, really, it was just those people. Not everybody.
Not
but-
everybody's bad.
And when I used to work with other people, like right now I only work with her. I don't work with a bunch of people. The Philadelphia Eagle fans were the worst people to deal with on Mondays. So, there you go. Anyway, the other email that I got was from the gentleman that sent the rugs to us, which if they weren't so loaded up with cat hair because she loves cats so much, I would pick it up and show it, but I would be sneezing for 2 weeks if I did that right now. They are amazing rugs
Maybe
that he
Kitty
built.
likes to lay on it.
Asked a question that we've talked about 376,000 times on this channel. But the problem was it was an email that's almost like, hey man, why would you ask me that on email? Don't you realize, I'm not trying to be mean. I love this guy. Don't you realize I would have to type you a novel as an answer? Like, this isn't something I can type back up to you in one paragraph, because he was asking about moving 45 aquariums
That's all.
from Texas to Alabama. We've moved more than that.
What's this stuff?
From Texas to Alabama. 45
What part of
tanks.
Texas? 'Cause
Uh,
Texas is a huge state. That's like
Does it matter?
hours difference. I'm just saying.
Either way, that is a tough move. We had a struggle moving 3.5 hours away.
Yeah.
He said 1,000 miles.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's a long
it
way.
must be that side of Texas.
It must be, yeah, like
Down.
the complete northwest corner of Texas,
Or
all the way
southwest.
to the southeast
northwest.
corner of Alabama. Or
Yeah.
that's a long way.
And a couple zigzags in between. Dang.
Here's what I'm going to say. Vel already beat me to it. Vel 178.
Oh.
Moving a move like that, 1,000 miles with 45 tanks. I am very sorry to say this, but I would empty every single one of those tanks, and I would rehome every single fish I have.
Oh. But why?
Now, listen, I'm not going to, first of all, we're not going to move 1,000 miles. I wouldn't get rid of them, any of the fish in here. The pleco
Oh,
would be
but
fine.
you should get rid of your favorite fish, is what he's saying.
But like all your guppies got to go. No, I mean, there are some fish that I would want to keep, but if I had 45 tanks, first of all, I've got a problem because that's a lot if you don't have some kind of a business that you're running with it. I would, that's what I would do, because I would not survive that move. I wouldn't survive that move. That would be too stressful. It would be it's too much. I'm not saying it can't be done, but the amount of work involved and the amount of stress involved with 45 tanks. If you had 5 tanks, I'd be like, it's no big deal. Put them in totes, put some air pumps in there, you'll be fine. But 45, whew, that's too many. I'm not saying you're a bad person for having that many tanks. I'm saying to move 1,000 miles, that's too much. I would take a few that are your special situations. Like for me, that would be this one, my yellow labs, which all of those transport real easy. African all of my 3 tanks, yeah, all of them.
What about mine?
And then she would have to select hers. We would probably combine some tanks. It'd be very easy to combine the yellow labs and the peacocks and haps for transport, because it'd be super easy to separate them when we get back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty easy to tell which ones are the yellow labs.
Yeah.
So we could probably
Might as well
combine
throw
them.
the saltwater fish in there too.
Well, that would just be murder. I'd give those to Mark,
Yeah.
and then I'd start over on the other end. I mean, that's what I would do. I would rather do that than go through the stress that would be involved in transporting them all 1,000 miles. Ours is like, what was it, like 200 miles? 250 miles?
It was a little more than that.
To go from Northern Virginia to northern North Carolina.
Definitely, because when I have to go to the doctors,
see.
I thought it said 3.
It's
I
not
guess
300 miles. It's 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
Whatever,
Let's
it feels
go.
like it.
Excuse me, King George, Virginia, 149 miles, 300.
Okay, well, I meant...
Did you drive to Alabama and then to...
Okay, so maybe I meant round trip.
That would make sense. It's 49 miles to King George, Virginia. It's pizza night. I have Pepsi on pizza night. Get off my back.
Was that a good pizza?
It was delicious. Thanks for not getting it for me.
Sorry.
We all know our attachment to our fish. We all love our fish, and we have an attachment to them. We've raised them. We love them.
Yeah.
But you also know that getting new fish is the most fun you can have in this hobby. That's what everybody loves to do. Now, if you're getting rid of 45 tanks worth of fish, that's a lot. That's a lot to give to anybody. You're going to have a hard time dumping them on somebody. But that's what I would do. I mean, like I said, I would pick the ones that are the most special to me, maybe combine a bunch of tanks, and then focus on those and sell off the rest or give them away. Giving them away kind of hurts, because then if you have to start all over again, it's like, where are you going to get the money to buy all? I mean, so that's really tough. But I would not.
But save the tanks so you can put new fish in them.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying get rid of the tanks. I'm saying get rid of the fish and then start over on the other end, because I just wouldn't be able to deal with the stress of all of that. Lisa Brandon, if that's you, if you're in here, thank you for the order. I just decided to do that on a whim.
All you need is to save 2 female guppies, and all 45 tanks will be filled back up within a year.
Like that. It'd take no time at all,
Yes.
especially if they're Diana Wallstead guppies.
I don't think it matters. I mean, my guppies are just crazy. They breed like crazy. Everybody I've given guppies to, they breed like crazy. There's millions of them now.
Lisa Brandon ordered a bunch of plants, and that reminds me I wanted to talk tonight about, I spent all day yesterday putting plants away. Huge shipment of plants yesterday. If you were curious, there's been there's been quite a few plants over the last couple of weeks that have been out of stock. They're not out of stock anymore. They're there. They're waiting for you. So if you've been waiting to order, now would be the time to do it. Just like Lisa Brandon just did. She ordered Crip Wenty Green and Red.
Ooh.
2 very excellent choices.
Yeah, I like that windy red.
Those are very good. Christopher Scott, there he is. That's the one.
That's the one. That's the guy.
They are all empty, prepared, only 2 over 100, and the rugs are vacuum safe. Okay, hold on. What language is Christopher saying? Prepared and only 2 over 100.
Stop.
Let's analyze this for a
Hey,
second.
John and Lisa.
Well, I got that part.
They are all empty, prepared, and only 2 that are over 100,
Gallons.
and the rugs are vacuum safe.
Okay.
Sometimes you just got to take it slow.
Now it makes sense. It didn't make sense before you read it,
Okay.
but now I understand it. dude, if they're all empty, why are you bothering me with an email for it?
Well,
What's the... Put them in the truck and move them. What do you need my advice for? If they're empty, what do you got to worry about? I mean, okay, all right. I'm just giving Christopher a hard time. You do have the worry of them breaking, I guess. But
yeah.
then my advice would be, we've done this. We never broke a tank.
No.
We moved hundreds.
Lids. A couple lids.
Oh, we
maybe.
broke plenty of lids, including moving down here. But the lids that we broke were specifically because we packed them badly.
You know what? This is what you do. You take your dirty laundry and you put it in between them.
That actually
so
works.
they don't break.
That works.
Just saying.
But I understand the fear of them breaking. The number one piece of advice I could give for that is don't pack them in a hurry.
Yeah.
I know it's very easy for me to say. I mean, but she could tell you, I don't do anything in a hurry anymore. Mm-hmm. And it's not because I'm lazy. It's not because I don't want whatever it is that I'm doing to be done. It's that I'm not trying to rush. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a contest. There's no deadlines.
I'm just going to be quiet.
You were going to make something inappropriate.
No,
And-
no, I was going to talk about the fence that wasn't painted that you did for 6 months. Because you couldn't figure out if you wanted to keep doing the fence all the way around or if you wanted to paint that side white. But I'm not going to talk about that.
I moved a 125-gallon tank that I drove to Virginia Beach to pick up into this fish house by myself a month and a half ago, and it hasn't been touched.
Oh, you want to... Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. What about that thing that fell off above the door?
The 300-gallon goldfish tank from Custom Aquariums sat for 7 months in this fish house before it got water put in it.
Okay, what about that piece in the one living room with my 2 white chairs that came undone? And I look up in there and I'm like, oh, there's history in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that piece is still sitting on the side of the wall in that room.
You don't want me to embarrass you. You might want to slow down here.
Okay.
Everything that we're both saying is fact right now. It's all truth. But
And we like to give each other a hard time, so
But-
there you go. You got to have a piece of our life. We're funny like that.
all you just did is prove my point for me. I don't do anything in a hurry. Some
Yeah.
of those things make her real happy. Just stop talking now, isn't
Shut
she?
up.
But it's easy for me to say. I'm 50. I've done all the things. I am not in a rush. And if I'm going to have to rush, you're not going to see a happy me. I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be cranky because I don't want to rush to do anything. It's not laziness. It's I want to enjoy what it is that I'm doing. This kitchen that I'm remodeling right now, Money Pit channel, if you want to follow along, I told her way before it started, you need to know that the first time you come to me and say, when is this going to be done? That's going to be the worst thing you've ever said. Because from that point on, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to make noises. I'm going to be dropping things.
That's why I just vent to Zen. I'm like, Zen.
I'm one man.
I'm just kidding.
And the job that I'm doing would probably cost us 40 grand.
It's
And
true.
it's costing us very, very much less than that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. I'll
But-
just glue that piece up.
but
And I
Christopher,
won't bother you with
in
it
all
anymore.
seriousness, it might be fixed. Maybe I was thinking about surprising you with that when you got home this weekend.
Oh.
You know, when you're gone all weekend while I'm here working and you're playing with our granddaughter.
Well, you know what? Miss Welcome needs somebody to watch her this weekend because Jordan is having a little thing going on.
Miss Welcome.
That's what her name is now, Miss Welcome.
But back to Christopher Scott. Don't pack them in a hurry.
Yeah.
If you're throwing them into your truck and you're piling them all on top of each other, put it on top of that dresser. It'll be fine. Get it in there. Put that stuff up against it. I understand moving is the worst thing ever. Moving and death are the two worst things. I don't know about the death part yet. I hope it's a long time from now. But moving sucks, and I never want to do it again. So it's easy for me to say. But in my defense, when we did move down here, we didn't get to this building until 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I was not trying to be like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. No, it was like, the faster we go with this, the more opportunity there is for mistakes. And when you're talking about aquariums that weigh hundreds and hundreds of pounds that are made of glass, a mistake could mean the loss of a limb or the loss of a whatever. You could lose something. If
something could be lost.
So it's take your time.
Especially with those bigger tanks. The smaller ones, I mean, all you got to do is fill them up with water, plug in, you know, whatever it is they need to have plugged in, and then go focus on the bigger ones. I mean, I got how many tanks? Like 10, 12 tanks up and running, fishing them real quick that night myself. It wasn't like the best looking thing, but the fish were going to be okay. And then I left and went back to Virginia. So,
but our move was unique though, because I'm willing to bet Christopher is not going to be doing what we did. We had an entire weekend dedicated to nothing but moving aquariums.
right.
And because our move was only 149 miles, not 300,
Or 1,000.
it was simple to do that. She could bring the tanks down, fill them up, get them running again, and bounce back to Virginia the same night. You got home real late, but
you stayed. So.
I stayed. Whips World stayed with me. Eric Furlow. Daggone it, I'm forgetting his name. Damn it, I'm a bad person. Was it Ed?
Eddie.
Ed?
Eddie.
Ed? Eddie?
Eddie.
Ed and Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all stayed with me, and it was great. I mean, but we had the entire, like, we rented U-Hauls, just one. It was just one U-Haul, just for this. Like, we didn't move anything but aquariums that day. In a perfect world, you would do the same thing, Christopher, but let's be real. That's not realistic if you're moving 1,000 miles away. So, but, you know, the biggest thing is, again, take your time packing them. And I mean, 45 tanks, it's going to be tough to put any kind of padding or anything like that.
Dirty laundry, like I said. Stuff
Dirty laundry is a
in
great
between.
one. If you're moving in the summer, take all of your hoodies and all of your sweatpants and all of your long jammy pants and put them down. Comforters,
Towels. Oh,
towels,
yeah,
blankets.
got a lot of laundry to do when you get there. Hope you have a good washer and dryer.
It's Christopher Scott. He made these rugs. Rugs
Oh, yeah.
you could put between the tanks
Yeah.
to keep them from bouncing into each other.
That's a great idea.
I went today. I don't know how you are, Christopher, and I don't know how any of y'all in the chat are, but whenever I have something that I'm transporting, it stresses me out. I have a trailer, you know, the one that is in the Custom Aquariums video that I forgot to latch and it bounced up into the back of my truck. Yeah, that trailer. I took that to a place today to buy all of the lumber to build the tank
The tank.
cabinets that I'm going to be building this weekend when she's playing with our granddaughter. Not home for the entire weekend.
Yeah.
I put those on the trailer. I put 3 ratchet straps.
Ratchet. I love that. That's a cool word. Ratchet. Ratchet. That's so ratchet.
This is $1,200. I'm just ignoring you. $1,200 worth of lumber, plywood and lumber.
It was?
Yeah. Still better than 40,000 though, but
I didn't know that.
I strapped it down with 3 ratchet straps, and I still stressed out the entire hour-and-a-half drive home because I'm freaking out because I thought one might fall off. And even though my trailer has one of those ramps that stands up when you know, in the back, and you walk up to it and you take the latch off and you can drop the ramp down to pull a lawnmower up into it or whatever. It has that, so it's like a wall in the back, and It has bars on the side and 3 ratchet straps holding it down, and I still was stressed out the entire hour and a half ride home, thinking that they might blow out or something. I don't know. I had a bad experience back when I was a teenager. I've told the story before. I drove a big cargo van. I tied with rope a door for my house onto the top of this van, and when I got home, that door was not there anymore. And I was broke. I mean, that hurt. It was like a $75 door, which would be $300 today, but that hurt real bad to get home.
Well,
and
did you go look for it?
Okay, you want me to tell the rest of that story? Sure, because it gets even worse. I lived in Stafford, Virginia. The Lowe's that I bought the door from was in Woodbridge, Virginia. So I drove back from Stafford all the way to Lowe's because my dumbass was thinking maybe as soon as I drove off, it fell, and maybe it's still sitting in the parking lot at Lowe's. It wasn't. And so I got back on the highway because I didn't have the money to buy another door. I got back on the highway to drive back home, and there was a massive traffic jam. And I'm freaking out at this point. And I see there's fire engines and a state trooper up ahead, and I see the state trooper pulling something out of the road, and I'm like, that's my door, and I killed somebody.
Oh my God.
I'm a murderer now. I killed somebody with that door. It flew off and went right through somebody's windshield and decapitated an entire family. This is what I'm thinking.
John.
And then when he got to the edge of the road, it was an extension ladder that had fallen off some idiot that didn't tie it down properly. And it fell off. I was so relieved. I have no idea where that door went. Never saw it again.
I don't know.
If I came home and said something like that to you, you would laugh your ass off. But my ex was not that person. She was not happy because that was like $80 gone.
Well, I mean, I probably would have been the same way at that point.
You'd have laughed.
I laughed.
You would have laughed because you would have been like, you're such an idiot. How dare you?
Now you better build a door.
It was bad. So this is why I freak out. The reason why I'm talking about all of this, Christopher, is because
Make sure you shut the back of that U-Haul. You don't want tanks on the, going out of the U-Haul and causing a massive accident on the road.
Decapitating a family. You don't want that to happen.
You gotta make sure you shut that door.
You don't want that evil on you.
Use those rugs in between.
Just, if you're anything like me, if you stress out about that kind of thing, and every bump you hit, you're like, oh, it's going to break the tanks. Just take your time, wrap those bad boys up in all of your fancy rugs that are beautiful, by the way. And, that way you can just kind of take it easy. Here's the thing, okay? The reason why I did not enjoy my experience driving home is because I strapped it down in a hurry. There you go. I was at a lumber yard. I was intimidated. I thought that the people that were there were probably making fun of me because I'm strapping down wood on a trailer that's already enclosed. I thought they're probably making fun of me right now, and I don't like that. And so I did it all really fast, and I wasn't confident in the job. Everything got home okay, by the way, but it was ridiculous for me to worry about that so much. But for you, Christopher, if I was driving 1,000 miles with all those tanks in the back, I would worry about those too. So take your time, pack them in nice and padded, and let me know how it goes. I'm curious to know how it goes. And everybody needs to stop, especially Evan Keller. Evan, we took care of you. You can't win again this fast. You can't do it.
He can.
As long
as it's not the same night.
Well, he didn't even win that night, but he did win that night.
Yeah, well, as long as it's not twice in one night. We're not going to be that way.
I'm giving you a hard time, Evan.
Yeah.
Leslie Perry came, oh wait, I forgot about Dennis.
Did you go all the way back before Christopher Scott?
That was Insanity.
Yeah, you did.
Dennis gifted his weekly 5 memberships.
Thank you, Dennis.
That's probably the one who Jazz was gifted from and then repaid it. Everybody's paying it forward. It's a beautiful thing because he does that every week, so it wouldn't surprise me. And then Leslie Perry came in and said, my 3 dojo loaches are getting frayed tails. No other fish are affected. and it's only their tails. I moved them from my 55 to my 125. Both substrates are gravel. Any ideas?
Tails. Are they with new fish that they weren't with before maybe? And maybe one of those fish are causing that?
As far as I'm concerned, it has to be. I mean, a dojo loach is not going to fray its own tail.
Right.
Betas do that sometimes, but
is there's sharp objects like maybe driftwood that has, sometimes driftwood has like, edges that are a little sharper maybe?
We've got a comment of the night contestant here.
Oh.
Agent Wonderbread said, shouldn't dojo fish know karate?
Oh.
She's not going to get that, but I get it. Because a dojo is where they teach karate.
Oh, okay.
You are very good, you.
I mean, but they like to go in things too, like caves and stuff, right? So like maybe since it's a new place that they're in, there could be some kind of new area for them to go in, like, a cave or in between two rocks or, something that's causing it, like something in the tank, a decoration doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that and if that's not something that is considered, is a possible issue, because, unless you're saltwater keepers, most people aren't keeping sharp objects in their tanks anymore.
But sharp objects could be something as simple as a fake plant.
That's going to be hard
fish.
enough to tear fins. I mean, I suppose.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. Do you remember those little coconut caves?
Oh, yeah.
With the hole in the top? I had to get a beta out of one of those before because it got stuck. And it really, excuse me, it really, damaged some of the fins and stuff on it. Or, not fins, but scales. And some of them came off. So from then on, I would take like an Anubias or something and stuff it in that hole. But those little coconut things, I wouldn't put it in a tank with little fish, that's for sure.
Or if you're going to, make sure those edges are sanded and nice and soft. But she did say lots of driftwood in the tank. I hope that's not it. I mean, spider wood can have some prickly little edges to it. Malaysian driftwood, typically not so much.
But it could have a spot in it that it could just be a certain spot that needs to be pushed down in the substrate more or something. It could be something as simple as that.
Yeah, but I would automatically...
Like it's going through a part of it or something.
I would automatically go to other fish in the tank as culprits. If it's only the dojo loaches that are affected, and they're the only fish in the tank that are affected, which she did say, I would take a look at what other fish are in the tank with them. And
that, but also if they're fish that are in there that swim around, that's totally different than the loaches. They're not going to be swimming around all the time like that. They're going to be the ones going through things. So I would look at the decorations too.
Oh,
definitely.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying if I'm looking at my tank and I'm like, no, there's nothing really in there that would damage their fins, then I would go to fish. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That was a $10 super chat, by the way, from Leslie Perry, and another $10 super chat from Sean Everett. Just end this sentence with, said every African cichlid keeper ever. Have you ever seen an African have 28 babies, and what do I do with them? Another aquarium is not in the cards, said every African cichlid keeper ever. Have I ever seen 28 babies from an African? I've seen a whole lot more than that.
Yeah.
And we would rejoice and celebrate because we were trying to do that on purpose.
Did you see the new baby? The new mama I got in the fluorescent?
I saw that you...
Oh, yeah, I did a reel on Instagram.
28 babies from an African cichlid is not uncommon. As a first spawn, that's a doozy. But if it's an adult, particularly peacocks, haps, that's a decent brood. But that could even be considered a small one. What do you do with them? I mean, the thing is, do you want to save them? Because
Yeah.
this is not going to end well for you if you want to save them, but another tank is out of the equation. Because you are going to have another tank.
And then they're going to do it again, and you're going to love it, and they're going to be so cute, and then you're going to get another tank, and then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I want to get another kind of African cichlid. I want to breed these. I want to breed those. I want to start a fish store. Just saying.
Yeah, that sounds awfully familiar. I don't know where I've heard that story from, but yeah, these are facts that she's saying.
I hope your wife's okay with it.
On Sunday's video, I tell a story very similar to this, but not with an African. It was with convict cichlids. I had a spawn of convict cichlids. There was about 3.2 million of them. It took me a long time. I finally found somebody to take them. That person took them. I was so happy. 3 days later, I got home from work and they did it again. So the next step was get rid of the convicts altogether. Mama and the daddy and all of them, they had to go. But what do you do in this situation? The first thing that I would do, Sean, is find a way to isolate those babies, because if they're in the tank with the parents, with all of the other Africans in the tank, they will be eaten. It's just
The strongest do survive. You could put little decorations, not decorations, but like rocks and stuff in there, or empty shells, like mystery snail shells, because they'll swim up in it, and you can turn them into shellies.
When I had my first spawning of Africans at that farmhouse, all of the babies, the reason why they survived, and I'm not suggesting that you do this, I did not do this on purpose. I had a piece of slate that was like 14 inches long, and it was standing vertically in the back of the tank, and there was a gap behind that tank of about 1/4 of an inch, and all the babies were back there, and they were hiding. It was the one spot where they could go, and the adults could not. But that's really, really difficult to do, and you can't say, okay, there's your spot. Go over there. Go over there. I mean, you just can't do that. So something like a breeder box, we sell them. We can have it to you in a few days, but the weekend's coming up. I think you're better off going to the fish store to get it. But a breeder box gets them safe, but you still have the problem of where to go.
Super, super large net. If you are desperate and you have a super, super, super large net, you can, like the 12-inch ones, stick it in the water and get the babies and stick them in there. Just finagle it underneath the lid so it holds it up.
Finagle? You're using fancy words now.
Yeah, I know.
Good for you.
And then, have it up, there to where it's not dropping down in the tank. The other fish might still go at them a little bit.
Yeah, they'll try.
They'll try.
They are savages. African cichlids are barbarians, and they see those little fish.
If it's a black net, they won't see through it quite as well. I mean, they will, but it's better than leaving them in there to get ate.
I agree. I mean, you need to find a way to keep them out of the other fish's bellies that are in the tank. And then you need to start looking at Facebook Marketplace and finding you I would say minimum 29 just to have something for them to go into. You can find them on Facebook Marketplace. People are desperately trying to get rid of these big glass boxes. I don't like it. I want them all to stay in, but it just doesn't work that way. So there's no scenario unless you're going to put a tank divider in there to keep the babies over here until they're big enough to not get eaten. I mean, that's not realistic to do that.
I have to say something really quick.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Curtis Crump.
It's not every day somebody turns 26, Curtis. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good job.
Happy
Sean
birthday.
Everett, you don't have to super chat every time, dude. Thank you. That's so generous of you.
You could be using that money to get a new fish tank.
It's true. I mean,
no more super chat, Sean.
You're spoiling us here. I have them in a hospital tank for now. They're growing quickly. I'll be getting a new tank. We'll see. Why didn't you say that before, Sean?
Well, the hospital tank might be teeny tiny, so.
It's better than leaving them in Listen, if you watch our video that we did with Hunter at Ron Cichlid's, for the first like 3 weeks, he keeps them in a little container that is it's hung on the edge of a tank. Mm-hmm. It's just right there, and it works.
Yeah.
They keep them in there for like 3 or 4 weeks. So, even if it's a small little 3-gallon tank or something like that, at least they're not in the other fish's bellies. That's a good thing. So, you can come up with your plan, figure out what it is that you're going to get for them. Grow out tanks. 28 fish. If I was trying to save them and I wanted to do the right thing, I would have like a 55-gallon grow out tank. But I understand that's a bit of a stretch. It's easy for me to say, but you asked me, so I'm telling you what I would do. Brent Russell with the $5 super chat. My wife says if I get another tank, I have to sleep with the fish.
Huh.
And then it skipped. Anyone get some scuba gear? Got some scuba gear I can have.
Well, that's funny.
Is your
how about
wife?
This, Brent? How about this? Why don't you get your wife into fish keeping?
Genius move right there.
There you go.
Is your wife mobbed up? I'm just.
What?
I'm just saying.
She what?
Is she mobbed up? Is she with the mafia? Because sleep with the fishes.
Oh.
If you're in the mafia, that means something completely different than sleeping with the fishes. I'm just saying.
Oh.
I'm worried about you, Brent. I think my wife says if I get another tank, I have to sleep with the fish, or I have to sleep with the dog, or I have to leave. I think that is most wives that are not fish keepers say that, which is why her advice is the best advice that you've ever heard.
Yeah.
Get her involved. Just make her get involved.
Does she like plants? You can ask her advice on, getting plants for the aquarium.
Geniusness is coming out of this mouth right now, except for the part where she talked about the fence that took me a long time to fix. It was fixed, it just wasn't painted.
It wasn't painted.
You should be ashamed of yourself for bringing that up.
I was embarrassed.
It's weird that it has the number.
Oh.
I've never seen that before.
So weird.
Oh, it's a different thing. That's why. Okay. Then we had JR became a member. Lots of activity with the members tonight. Welcome to the team. Finsanity again, because Joe feels like the only way he's going to get our attention if he sends a super chat. I promise it doesn't always work out that way, Joe. Watch John flip out. What? I put 10 Oscars, 3 bikers in a 125 today. 2 inches each. Temporary setup until I set the pond up. Now, Joe, are you thinking I'm going to freak out because I'm going to say 10 of them in a 125? Dude.
10 Oscars.
That is way better than what most people would do with their Oscars.
Yeah, have you gone to the fish store? They have 10 Oscars in a 10-gallon.
This is the truth. How many, just go on TikTok, go on YouTube. How many 55-gallon tanks, 29-gallon tanks? There's a video that was a short, I think you sent it to me, of a dude bragging and setting up his new Oscar tank because they had to upgrade from the old one. The old tank that the Oscar was in was a 10-gallon, and he upgraded him to a 20-gallon for his Oscar that was this big, that big. That's 9 inches, right? When I say hey, stop it. You're being inappropriate now.
I'm telling you what 9 inches is. I'm doing 1 inch, 2, 3.
Right there. That's it. So stupid. But Joe, seriously, they're 2-inch fish. That's 2 inches, right? They're 2 inches in a 125. I think you did well.
That's 2 inches.
Sure, it's about that. She's oblivious to what's going on right now, or she's doing a really good job acting like she's oblivious to it. No, I'm not going to freak out except for to say good on you. But if you thought I was going to be mad.
If that's temporary, where are they going again?
until
and
I
a
set the pond up. Now, you live in the Buffalo, area.
You're going to put them outside? Or what are you getting, a Sichlid heater?
That's the part I'm going to need clarification on, Joe. And you don't have to super chat that. And don't email me either. Put it in the chat. I need you to clarify what this Oscar pond is, because that's cool. I mean, I'd like to have an Oscar pond. Lakeisha Mills with the $20 super chat.
Kiki.
Goodness gracious.
Hi, Kiki.
Paying it forward. This is the first live in a few weeks I've been able to catch.
Aw.
Hi.
Well, I'm really happy that you got your car fixed too, Kiki. I know you were having issues. She had been in an accident too.
Oh, no.
Just having a really bad time. But she got her car fixed.
Well, good. Good you got your car fixed. Good for you.
And we are not going to the Aquatic Expo. It's this weekend. We're not going to it. It's not even in North Carolina, I don't think. I think it's in South Carolina this time.
I believe we were invited, or wasn't it last year?
No,
I think we
were invited, but
Yeah.
it just wasn't going to work out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
It'll be a fun time, though.
I don't think we're going to any shows this year.
Yeah.
It's a very sore subject, so don't bring it up anymore.
I would love to still go to the New Jersey one, if any, because it's driving.
Yeah, but I don't know that we're going to be able to make it to any shows this year. At least that's
As
what
of
I say.
right
but
now.
she might say something completely different. It's in North Carolina. Okay, yeah, I mean, I thought it was
Oh,
still
it
in
is?
Charlotte. Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was. I could have sworn they changed the address. I guess they didn't. Maybe I just misunderstood. Well, if it's still North Carolina, that's great. I'm glad they kept it in North Carolina.
The thing is, we didn't go to any shows last year. And the reason why we didn't.
We went to Fins and Fury.
Yeah, but that's not an aquarium show, though.
But it was aquarium related.
There was a show
events.
put on, and there were aquarium people there.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fins and Fury was a different type thing, though, because we went up on Friday and came back on Sunday. I mean, we didn't get home till 5 a.m. Monday morning, but it was still, it didn't set us back as far as our business goes. When we go to places like Aquashellas and stuff like that, we leave on Thursday, which means we're not streaming that night. We're away from our business until the following Monday afternoon, usually. And right now, it's still just her and I that run the website. If you order from us, it is either her or I that's packing the order on every single one of them. And we would get 3 days behind. I mean, it's impossible to do that. Plus, it costs us a lot of money to go to these shows, to just all of the things that you buy, whether it's drinks and you forgot toothpaste and you got to do that, and you got to stop at Buc-ee's both ways, there and back. Of course you do.
Buc-ee's.
If you're driving.
South.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with North Carolina?
I was making a joke. Geez, thanks for ruining it.
Oh. Not every direction is.
But if you're flying, there's buying things at the airport to occupy yourself on the plane and eat on the plane. There's meals, there's Ubers, it adds up. And I mean, one of them cost us over $1,000, and that was not paying for a hotel or plane tickets. We still spent $1,000. So to spend that money and fall behind for our business, it's just not a sacrifice that we're willing to make right now. We would love to go to these shows and meet all of you and all of that. That's the best part about it, but it's just out of reach right now. We don't have.
Unless we take turns.
No. I'm not. No, I have no interest in going to an event like that without you anymore.
You've done it before.
You drive me crazy.
What?
What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now?
I do not.
No, she doesn't do that, but it still drives me crazy because
I've only gone to one event without you.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
And I was texting you every 5 minutes. What are you doing now? What are you doing? No, I didn't do that
you
either. Sean Everett came in with another $10 super chat just to clarify that he was getting that or had that hospital tank. But I wanted to acknowledge that again because it's the order that it came in. Leslie Perry gifted a channel membership. Somebody
Leslie.
gets access to all of that extra stuff. It's not a ton of extra stuff, but you get the discount on the website.
Yeah,
Check the
5% discount.
members community page for that. And that is amazing. So welcome to whoever was the recipient of that membership. And then JD became a member and Jazz gifted
Welcome,
5
JD.
more.
Thank you, Jazz.
Jazz has gifted
I
10
love
tonight.
I love your little avatar. The little kitty, so cute.
Shocker. I travel to conferences for a living. It's expensive to go to conferences. I'm going to exhibit at a conference coming up in Dallas at the end of the month, and I'm paying close to $3,000. Yeah, see,
Wow.
we go to those events specifically to just meet all of you. And for that, it's amazing. It's wonderful. But the cost, it's not even a money thing. The cost, the hit that it has on our routine, the cost that it has for our business, all of that. We are in a business that is 100% based on reputation. People order from us because they appreciate what we do. And if we send them an email that says, hey, sorry we haven't shipped your order that you put in last week, we were on vacation, people aren't going to be very happy with that. Amazon has ruined that for everyone. So we have to keep that in mind.
Don't start with Amazon.
I'm going to bring up Amazon as much as I possibly can. JR with the $5 super chat. I have a Fluval Flex 32.5 gallon that is stocked heavy with guppies,
That's not a surprise.
rasboras, and tetras. Do you have any canister filter recommendations?
32 a canister? How about like a little whale? A little teeny whale?
A little whale would certainly be fine. Now, okay. I love CJ. Of course I do. They have a new canister that's going to be coming out this year. You're probably not going to want to wait that long. So what I would recommend, if you have to have something right now and you can't wait for the Mega Filtra, which is the new CJ canister filter that's coming out, I could not recommend the Fluval 700 series more. I think the 207, maybe that's for a 20 watt. So the 307, maybe you'd have to check what they're rated for. What? Yeah.
407 and 207.
But what I'm trying to say before you were so rude is I don't know how many gallons those are for. Like I think a 407 is up to like 75 gallons or something.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know what the ratings are for those, but I would get whatever 7 series Fluval filter would fit that. That would be. I'm a big fan of the Marineland. Why am I drawing a blank? Don't anybody put it in the chat either.
The one, never mind.
The Marineland. Oh, I don't remember it. But the Marineland ones are good too. I've got one of those somewhere around here.
Was it that one out?
No, that's the Aquarium, which was a good filter for a long time. It was a very good filter.
Are you serious? It didn't last that long.
I had it for 2 years. I never even cleaned it. That was the one I did the video on that I hadn't cleaned it in like 2 or might have even been 3 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it broke.
That was the one that you got at the Aquatic Experience with that tank. It came with it.
Oh.
The Aquarium something or other. It was a good filter. It was. Somebody said, oh, a new CJ. Yeah. They've been working on this for a while. I was even asked what I would like to see in a canister. In the early stages of development, I don't think anything that I said is in it. And I got to be honest, I don't even remember what it was that I said. But because that was like 2.5, 3 years ago. They've been working on this thing for a long time. CJ is another brand that is not in a hurry.
Oh, that's
They're not going to put it out until it is right. I saw pictures of this filter a year ago, and it's still not available yet. But I have heard first quarter of 2025, the Mega Filtra is coming out, and that's going to be very exciting. There's going to be something with that filter that I've not seen in another freshwater aquarium filter at all. It's not like the NFC technology with the scuba contactless heaters, which I like a lot. And may I say,
They have the best 5-year warranty.
that's true. Thank you for your contribution. What is the in our barn, the plant tanks got colder when the weather was butt freezing outside, except for which tank? Which tank could you go in there last week when it was?
Oh, the pond with the guppies and the rubber floaters.
We have a what is that? What's that brand?
The CJ brand.
No, I know the tote, the stock tank.
Stock
Is
tank.
it Rubbermaid? I don't know what the brand is. Who cares? The big black ones that we bought at Tractor Supply. It's 150 gallon. I've got that filled like 3/4 of the way up, and we have our red root floaters in there. She put a bunch of guppies in there, and we put a contactless scuba heater in there, and it would be really cold in the barn, and you could put your hand down in there and it'd be like,
Yeah,
it was so nice.
warm.
So yeah, I'm a big believer in CJ products altogether, particularly the contactless. The new thing that's happening with this filter is not that. That's all I'm going to say. But it does involve technology.
Yeah.
It's not a protein skimmer. It involves being able to monitor things through technology on your canister filter. Saltwater stuff does that.
Is it going to tell you the pH?
I don't know about that, but it
Junk.
is.
Then it's junk. I'm just kidding.
It is. It's going to be fantastic, and that's going to be like their top of the line Mac Daddy version, where it's going to be like connected to Wi-Fi and all that. It's going to be crazy, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. Take my money. I don't even know if I'm going to be selling it, Grant, because they take up so much room, and they're expensive for us to buy, and they cost a fortune to ship. It's not the filter's fault. It's just we lose money selling big things like that. So we'll just let BRS lose all the money, and because they're going to carry it, because they carry everything, we'll just let them lose money on it.
Yeah. But we're going to end up doing a review on it.
Of course we will.
because we love all CJ products. Oh, has anyone got a mini skim yet? I love my mini skim. The CJ mini skim.
You said you were going to get them and put them on the website.
Oh yeah, I need to do that. But I've been using mine, and I absolutely love my mini skim. And my little Shark Pro Nano is so cute.
I'm going to read this super chat while you figure out what we're giving away today.
Oh.
They're over there. You're going to have to go get it. It's your job. I did the whole stream by myself last week. It was exhausting.
What was I doing?
You were,
I tell
you had to
doctor's
poop or
appoint-
something. I don't know what it was.
Shut up.
I think you said, I got to take a dump. I can't do it.
You're so stupid.
That's not at all what happened. But Odin Aquatics came in with a $5 super chat and said, don't worry, guys. I've arrived. We
Yeah.
can start now.
Hey,
We were waiting. It's been it's an hour and a half in, dude. Come on.
we have been sitting here patiently waiting for you.
Remember the giveaway part
Yeah.
with the stuff? Whips World said, okay, so it is in South Carolina, I guess. But Ed is there and staying in Charlotte. So I don't know what's happening. Well, Charlotte and South Carolina are right next to each other.
Well, yeah, because Charlotte.
Charlotte's right there on the border, so
said it's like 20 minutes south of Charlotte or something.
there you go. The place they had it in the year we went was amazing. The hotel we stayed in was amazing. I didn't do a giveaway last week, did I? Did I?
I don't know.
Did I?
How do I know? I wasn't here. Remember, I was pooping.
She was taking a dump. You can't hear her. I'm thinking you can hear her. She said she wasn't here because she was pooping. She wasn't. Tyler Howard became a member. Welcome, Tyler. And Janice Lundberg said, actively rocking in my lazy boy. I know what you did there, Janice. I see what you're doing. I've got to fire up the website for the giveaway. If you're curious, a lot of people are already doing it because they know how the game is played. All you have to do to be a winner of this giveaway is say something in the chat. You have to be active in the chat. You have to be here when we announce you, when Nightbot announces you.
I got a surprise.
And you have to live in the United States. I said it, and I'm sorry about that, but that's the way it has to be. And again, before you talk about what that surprise is, I do want to mention we will, as soon as she orders it, we will be bringing in the new Dynerics line from Northfen.
And
whoa, you're giving those away? Those
yeah,
should be for us. Are you kidding
no,
me?
we're gonna give this away.
And we're going to be bringing in that too. Yes. So
Like
yeah, we're going to be bringing in
Post-its.
quite a few things.
Lots
That'll
of
be
good
the
stuff.
Super Red.
Am I supposed to order it?
Well, you order the products that we carry on the website.
I thought you all were discussing. Okay, I will.
She's looking for a job if anybody's interested.
Yeah.
I'm
I thought we
joking.
were still discussing that. Well, then I will contact Darius.
No, well, I'll tell you who to contact
Oh.
because it's not Darius for that one.
Oh.
But as we move on, yeah, it's a whole big thing. Yeah, had a long conversation with Darius, who is the owner of Northfen, last week, and we're not going to have a problem being out of stock of Northfen anymore.
Oh yeah.
Just
or
saying.
The other one. I can't say it right. Dynex?
I love to hear him say it because he says it with such eloquence, because he has that Lithuanian accent. I say Dynerics, and it's terrible the way I say it. He says it beautifully. If you want to hear how he says it, Monday's episode of the Tank Talk podcast,
I can't wait.
Darius, the owner of Northfen Fish Foods, is Jason and I's guest on that episode. It is a lot of fun. You want to learn about the inner workings of a fish food company. You're not going to learn his secrets, but you're going to learn a lot about Northfen in that. And if you're not a fan of Northfen and what they stand for and why they do things the way they do after listening to that podcast, I don't know what your problem is.
Yeah.
Because it's
They're amazing.
it's an amazing family, and there is no other fish food brand on the market that the owner of the company is the one making the food.
Yeah.
That's insane. But that's what he does. And he explains why he's the one that does it, and he's the only one allowed to do it with the company. You're going to want to hear that. So Tank Talk Podcast, Monday. It goes live 6 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you miss it, you're going to regret it because it's going to be a really good episode. So
Let me show
What else?
everybody. Let me show everybody. So everybody needs kelp wafers.
our best-selling Northfen product right there.
Yeah, kelp wafers are amazing. Everything loves the kelp wafers. I throw them in there for the whoever wants to eat them.
He's like, me? You talking to me?
Yeah, him especially. But my snails love it. Everything. I could stick it, when I had the beta sorority, if I put it in there for like the snails or the Amana shrimp or whatever, the betas would go and pick at it. They loved it too. So, but everything loves the kelp wafers. It's awesome. And then can't forget the nano bits. And this is the large bag. It's the 80 gram.
Janice Lundberg asked, does Northfen have a fry food? This isn't quite a fry food.
They have fry starter, but it's going to be renamed. And
Yeah.
it's being replaced. So we still sell fry starter
Until we're out of it.
until we're out of it, but it's getting replaced and renamed or whatever, something like that. But yeah, the fry starter is amazing. My guppies have just taken off with that. I would just throw it in there and they eat it up. But it's so fine, it's powdery, and it's got all the krill and protein in it that they need to grow. So yeah, fry starter. And then you can mix the fry starter with the nano bits. So, because you know some of your fry are a little bigger than others. And then you're going to get the Bug Pro sticks. So those are the 3 things.
And you can mix all 3 if you want, if you're really feeling frisky.
Yeah, if you want.
And that is one of the foods that the Dynarix brand is coming out with, or already has. We should be getting it within the next couple of weeks. That is I think I have it right there. I'm just not going to get up and go get it. The Super Mix, which is a combination of their Krill Pro, Cichlid, and veggie sticks, or veggie pellets. All 3 mixed together, which is really, really cool. So, again, all you have to do to win this is be here right now, be alive, be in the chat, put something in the chat, because that's the only way that Nightbot will recognize that you're here, is if you put something in the chat, and you also have to live in the United States. I'm going to push the button in about 15 seconds.
Can I push it?
You can.
What do I do? What button do I push?
You just click choose a winner. Here she goes.
You guys, here we go. Here we go.
And it will announce in there.
You ready? You ready?
Sue Harkey.
Yay, Sue. Congratulations.
You are the winner. And it should, there it is. Yep, Nightbot, congratulations, Sue Harkey, you won the giveaway. The nice thing about this Nightbot situation is when you, Sue, put something in the chat, we don't need to be searching for it. It'll actually tell us right here,
Really?
yes, Sue has responded, and then we will know. I need to know that you live in the United States. That's all I need to know. If you're somebody who unfortunately does not, then if you could please let me know that you do not, then either we'll let you pick another winner, or we'll just run it again and see who wins.
So,
There she is, and she's a member.
Yay. Hi, Sue.
OMG.
OMG. That's
She
cute.
spelled it out. Sue,
That's cute.
I'm going to assume you live in the United States. I'm going to assume, get it? You see what I did there? I'm a comedic genius.
Yeah, you're funny.
Sue, just verify that you live in the United States. NG. Okay, good. NJ. Not NG. Sue, I need you to email me at kgtropicals@gmail.com with your information.
Yeah, and I'll send this out to you tomorrow because I pack the orders tomorrow.
She does. If you are a customer of ours, just email me and say, I'm already a customer, I'm already in your system. Then you don't have to send me your address and all that. I'll already have it. But if you're not a customer, that's okay. It's fine. You don't have to be a customer to win. We will.
Check something real quick.
Uh-oh. That always means she's up to no good.
No, he's just checking something.
Odin Aquatics said, you like dogs? You like dags? Name that movie. You like dags? The way that's spelled makes it look to me like a Boston accent. You like dags? I don't know that movie, though. Are you going to give away more?
Well, I got this to answer a question.
You should give away more, and I'll tell you why in a second.
I will give away more. I love giving stuff away. It's fun.
Because Northfin just donated 10 memberships. Look at that.
Oh, yay. Thank you.
When I told you Northfin is a huge supporter of the channel, I wasn't lying to you. Look at it. He's right there.
And now you get 5% off to buy Northfin at keepfishkeeping.com.
Look at that. Look how it goes full circle. You
Yeah.
see that? Darius donates to you. That's the owner of Northfin, folks. I know it's him because I talk to him all the time. When you see Northfin pop up in the chat, that's the owner of the company. What other companies are going to have the owner in the chat of somebody online? Come on. I just think it's really cool. This is why we love them so much. And yeah, their food's good too.
Very good.
Let me answer this real quick. Mama Bear Moore, how does the nanobits differ from 5.5
That's
millimeter
why I
community?
got
Oh,
this.
look at you.
Okay, so I went and I got a bag of community so I could tell you the difference. So nanobits has 50% crude protein and the community has 40% crude protein. Let's see here. The Northfin is 0.5 yeah, both of them are 0.5. I would say it looks as if the nanobits have a little bit more protein. And maybe there is, okay, the ingredients. Okay, the nanobits has the black soldier fly larvae meal, whole herring meal, sardine meal, organic kelp, and then let's see here.
Darius is sitting at his computer right now going like this.
The community has the Antarctic krill, the herring meal, the sardine meal, spirulina. So they both have a lot of really good stuff, and I would say that the nanobits just has a teeny bit more protein.
And the main difference is the black soldier fly larva versus the whole Antarctic krill. That's the biggest difference between the two pellets.
Yeah.
I think
The
that's what
first-
Darius would want me to say,
The first ingredient.
and he just put a
each.
thumbs up. So I don't know if he probably wasn't responding to me because we're on a little bit of a delay, but that is the biggest thing. Are you giving that to somebody?
I'm gonna get more stuff.
Oh, she wants to get one more thing. She made the decision to do this before Northfin popped up in the chat, y'all. So we're not trying to brown nose or anything. He sends us this food specifically to do this with. So just another way that we are very fortunate to work with them. While she makes the decision of the other food that she's going to give away, Audrey Paquette said, I noticed my beta named Zero was missing a tiny piece of his tail. You taught me to treat him with aquarium salt. I have to scroll through it. And he seems like he's on the mend. Well, there you go. That's a beautiful thing. That's a $5 super chat. Thank you, Audrey. That's great to hear. Betas are one of those fish that people develop a different connection to than most other fish. Because if you have rummy-nosed tetras, they're amazing fish. They're beautiful. They're all over the place. They're very active. They don't pay attention to you. But a beta will pay attention to you. And I think that, kind of like with Oscars, that's what makes people have that special connection with them. And so when one of those has a fin that's donated, that's damaged,
So this
we want to get to
one-
the bottom of that. I'm glad we were able to help out. I don't think I had anything to do with it.
Yeah,
Probably all her.
I talk to her on Instagram sometimes.
Perfect. So what are we giving away
Audrey's
now?
awesome. She also lives in North Carolina too. All right, so everybody needs kelp wafers. So you're getting kelp wafers if you win, because every tank needs kelp wafers. The
I should have
community,
just kept it going.
the community, of course, because anything can eat community, and it's a great food.
And the nanobits. Oh, no. Oh, she's
I'm
giving
gonna
away
do-
all the good stuff. Look at
I'm
this.
going to give away something new. We don't carry it on our website yet, but we will be carrying it on our website. And the really awesome thing about this product is that it's B.O.W.L chart approved.
It says it right there. The sticker's right there.
Yeah.
Put it all the way up there. That is Ben's sticker. See that? Because Ben and Darius were having a conversation at one of those events, and Ben suggested this. And look what Darius did.
Yeah.
Do you know any other brand that works with the community like that? I don't think so. And so that's why Ben's name is on the bag. That's very, very cool.
So that's going to be the next batch of stuff.
Darius has asked me if I have any ideas of things like that. And I said, I'll think about that. But let's be honest, it'll be her that comes up with whatever the idea is anyway, because I'm just a big dummy that takes 6 months to paint a fence. Do you want to, let me announce the rules again. You have to be in the chat. You have to have said something within the last 15 minutes or so. and you need to live in the United States. That's all. It's really nothing more than that. And you could be the next recipient of this. So do it, my lady. She's going to pick it, and she's not picking the winner. She's pushing a button that chooses the winner.
You ready? You ready?
And it's going to announce it in the chat.
Here goes. Who's that?
Snaffa Mary. I believe.
Snaffa Mary.
I could be wrong.
I've seen that. Haven't
That
I?
see, it's going to look like the system is rigged. Didn't one of the super chats come through from that person earlier, or became a member?
Became a member. Yeah.
This system is not set up to specifically only choose members. I promise it's not. But how cool is that? That works out
Congratulations.
really, really well. And Snaffa Mary, I think I said it right that time. You are in the United States, yeah? You are, right? Just a bunch of woos and yahoos is all we've gotten in the chat from her so far. Her or him. I don't know why I said her. I live in Iowa. Perfect. There you go. I've been to Iowa.
I'll mail it to you tomorrow.
I think I was like 7. My brother-in-law's grandfather had a farm in Iowa, and we went there. And I don't know why, but we did. So Snaffa Mary, email me at kgtropicals@gmail.com, and I'll tell you the same thing I told Sue. If you are a customer of ours already, if you just let me know that, I have your information. I don't need to get any more information from you, but if you're not a customer, that's totally fine. It doesn't disqualify you, I promise. Just give me your information, and then that way she knows who to send it to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Members seem to be more active. You know, that's true, Leslie. That's probably why that happens. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. You know, if there was an option to set it up to only pick members, it would be probably smart of me to do that, but I don't think I would. I don't ever want to come across as a pay-to-play kind of thing. I don't want to do that. Yes, members get things that the general public audience doesn't get, like the discount to the website, all that kind of stuff. But
they deserve to get something because they paid
yeah,
for it.
absolutely.
So
They're showing their support. We want to give
that's why
some of that
we
back
like
to them.
give do the giveaways for the public too,
For everybody.
'Cause it's the right thing to do.
And it just so happened that tonight they were members, but it's not always that way.
We are very fortunate that we have amazing people that like to gift memberships too. So there are a lot of people in here that don't sign up to be a member and they get free memberships. So there's a lot of giving in this community. So
Northfin Fish Foods in the last 5 weeks, I believe, has donated
You know
50
what,
channel
Tyrant?
memberships.
Tyrant 65, if you don't like it, then you can leave. How about that?
Ooh, listen, you got her fired up. What did he
Just
say?
get
I
out.
want to see. Want to see. Oh, I can't see the deleted message. What did he say?
He keeps saying he thinks it's shady.
Oh, that's fine. Well, you're not even a subscriber, so why would you care?
Yeah, 'cause
Anyway,
we can tell if you're a subscriber too. So see ya. Bye bye.
did you see my pleco just attacked the lid of my tank? Did you hear that just happen?
You should feed him.
Whenever I shop at KG Tropicals, I come out a winner every time. Listen to this.
Aw, you're awesome, Patrick.
Did you just become my favorite customer? I'm not allowed to say who favorite customers are because,
Everybody is.
I
our
mean, yeah, it's not right to do that. So, but what I was saying, Northfin's donated 50 channel memberships in like the last 5 weeks and donated all of the food that we've sent
Yeah,
out to
because
people.
I think that's so sweet. They send food to do giveaways for. So
And we don't even ask for it. It just shows up. And here's the funny thing. When it shows up, we have a long porch on the front of our house. And we enter the porch from the side, not because we have to, but that's just what we choose to do. I can see that from 40 feet away, and I'll say, that's a Northfin box. And it's just a brown box. It's not like it's a sign. Amazon has the upside down penis on it that you can tell it's Amazon.
what?
You'll never look at that arrow the same again. Y'all know, that that's what that arrow looks like.
Ooh.
It's not like it has any markings on it at all that identify it as a North Fin box. It's just a brown box, but they're taped. It's like covered 100% all the way around with tape. And so the box is like a solid brick, and it's amazing because it gets no damage. I think he usually sends FedEx. It comes in perfect condition every single time because he puts all that tape on it. So yeah, but I can tell it's from them, just like I can tell an Amazon box because of that upside down curved.
Yeah, it's just
phallus.
like a smiley face.
Doesn't look like that to me.
Are we going to talk about the true or false?
Oh, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of our audience. The statement today was PetSmart and Petco are great for the hobby.
And don't
True
forget,
or false?
They can see it.
Only the people who voted can.
Oh, true.
So if you didn't vote, sorry, you're left out of this. You can't see it. But we'll tell you what it is. 73% voted yes or true, and 27% voted false. I'm willing to bet, I'm going to end the poll now. I bet you the 27% people that voted false had a bad experience. They don't necessarily believe that it's bad for the hobby. They've just had a bad experience. And that's why they said that. Is that an Amazon box, or are you just happy to see me? Stephen P., you think I'm awkward. See, Stephen, you didn't realize that wasn't an arrow. It was an upside down penis. You didn't realize that. But now you're never going to look at that box the same again. And you're going to be like, you know what? John knows what he's talking about when it comes to Amazon.
Richard Armstrong said, OMG, I grew up in Spotsylvania across the Rappahannock. I'm 52 now. Unfortunately, I would have gone to King George every day.
Oh.
Yeah.
We would have loved to have seen you.
We had a lot of people come from Spotsylvania to the store.
Our farthest away customer came from Maine, but they were driving down to Florida and they stopped on their way through. And I kept the shop open late for them because I don't think he called. I think he emailed and said, hey, we really wanted to come and see it. And
no, they wanted to see you. They wanted to meet John from KG Tropicals. That was back when, what did we have, like 5,000 or 10,000 subscribers?
And that was the night that Jordan was there with me, and she was like, well, you're like famous. I'll never forget. It was a very special moment for me. She finally recognized that, but no, I don't even know why Jordan was there. I think Jordan and Skylar were both there that night when that happened. And they didn't stay long. I kept the store open for them for like an extra 15 minutes or something like that. And I don't think they bought anything either, which is fine because whatever. But anyway, PetSmart and Petco, I have been an advocate for those stores ever since the beginning. We've done podcast episodes about this. I've done entire live streams talking about this. I do think they're good for the hobby. I think they play a very important role in this hobby, which is bringing those new people in. Because you have people that are there that were there to get dog food, or they're there to pick up cat treats, or they're crazy like her and they're always there just browsing for cat stuff, whatever it is. And they see that beta or they see that guppy and something intrigues them and they get into it. Yes, they most likely get into it too early and they make mistakes, and they might not be starting off with the best information that they get from there, but it got them in nonetheless. And I appreciate them for that, because what they end up doing is they end up becoming fish keepers. They find us, they become members of this community, and that's how it all starts. And it's our job. PetSmart's job is to get them in. It's our job to keep them in.
Yeah, but if
that's why we have the name keepfishkeeping.com.
If they don't know we're here, then it's hard to keep them in. So hopefully.
Well, all they got to do is type aquariums and we'll show up. Not number one. I think Joey's probably the top like if you just type in aquariums, I don't know, but you would see Joey and you would see all of the usual suspects, and then we would be like 3/4 of the way down the page, which is fine. We like being there.
I think they're good for certain things. I don't think they're good for fish. Like to actually be carrying the fish, I don't like that.
I'm not going to argue with their systems not being the best. That's not even up for debate tonight. I'm just saying they play a vital role.
They do.
And they bring people in.
They're really good for their 50% off sale for tanks.
And there's that too. There are a lot of professional carpenters that are geniuses in their field that started out doing DIY home improvement projects, going to Home Depot and buying their stuff. If you ask any professional, they would tell you Home Depot's not the place to go buy materials, but that's where they started. And Lowe's the same thing. And PetSmart, Petco's same way. I know it's a stupid analogy, but it's true. They bring people in. We, not just Lisa and I, but we as the community, we keep them in. That's our job, to build this community. So if they weren't bringing them in, what else is going to bring them in? I mean, yeah, there's social media. Fish keeping on social media is not what it was 3 years ago. This is how I make my living, and I'm a very lucky guy to be able to do that. But it's just not. It's not the same as it was a few years ago. The people that are here now in this chat and the people that are watching the videos and are members of the community, not channel members, but just members of the fish keeping community, they're the crazy people like us. And that's amazing. Y'all are the ones that are staying. And I really, really hope that we had something to do about it. The cute avatar did it again. Jazz did it again. 5 more. Is that 15 for the night? Good grief. You really are paying it forward tonight. You were like, you know what? Northfin came in and donated 10, which means it's more than me. I got to one up that. And I respect that. I respect the quest to win. Everybody that got free memberships, go to the community page on YouTube. You will see a post that went up on the 1st, and it'll go up the 1st every month. It changes for a code just for you for a 5% discount on the website, keepfishkeeping.com. Go buy Northfin. Go buy CJ. Seachem.
CJ Fritz.
Snails, plants. The discount works on all of it. So, I don't really watch your videos that much. Well.
But you're here for the live stream, so thank you.
And you're a member too, so that's cool.
Some people, hey, I didn't watch the video last Sunday.
Might have been a video. Might have been one of those free memberships, and if that's the case, then wow, that was kind of a waste. But hey, we can't pick who gets the free memberships.
But we're really happy that you're here. Thank you for being here for the live stream.
And she's the nice one of the two of us, and you have the Kansas City Chiefs on your avatar, so that means we'll be rooting for the same team in 2 weeks. Or next week.
Taylor Swift boyfriend team.
1 more minute, and then we will hand you off to Primetime Aquatics. They are live immediately after us, and you don't have to do anything to go over there. All you got to do is just nothing. Just stay exactly where you are, and we will send you right over. I've been a member a long time. Where's this code again? It is on the community page. Just go to the community page. So you go to our channel and then click on community, and you'll see it, and you'll want to
go through it until you get to it. It's like once a month on the 1st, I think it gets put up.
12 midnight, the 1st of every month. That's when it goes. The new code comes out. So just find whichever one is the most recent, and that's the code to use. And I just got the text from Jason, which means he's on time. Unlike us, because of her.
It wasn't my fault.
So thank you all for hanging out. I'm going to let her say goodbye, and we'll send you all over to Primetime.
Yeah. So, it's my turn. Thank you, mods. We appreciate you so much. You're awesome. And thank you, everybody, for being here and chat or lurking or whatever you were doing. Replay crew, thank you for being here. And we appreciate all of you. We appreciate the gifted memberships and the chats and all the comments and just being involved and helping each other out in chat. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. What?
That's a new member I forgot to get to.
Grant, thank you for becoming a member too.
Sorry, Grant.
But yeah, go to Primetime, have a wonderful time, enjoy that stream, and we'll see you next Thursday.